Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Into the Red Rabbit Hole with Nighthawk and Eric, your hosts. And let's go ahead and bring Eric in here. I'm going to go ahead after he's done introducing himself to everybody. I'm going to go ahead and do the disclaimer, and we'll go from there.
Hey everybody, Eric Testman, also known as ED Testman, author, YouTuber, Rumble guy. I do shows on everything from the bizarre and the unknown, which is the name of my show, to even current events on Rumble. And also write books that to be found on Amazon.
Awesome, Eric. And Eric is a very interesting podcast on YouTube, also, The Bizarre and the Unknown. And if you haven't followed him or subscribed, you definitely want to. Okay, we'll get into more of that after this podcast. But for right now, we're going to get into, you know what, the disclaimer. Because we have to protect ourselves because of all those stupid AI bots out there. No offense included there, Facebook. Anyways, copyright disclaimer is this channel may use some copyrighted material without specific authorization of the owner, but contends that it falls under the Fair Use Act. Okay, the Fair Use Act is the Copyright Act of 1976. Nighthawk High Strangeness podcast channel and all the podcasts on the channel, including William Nighthawk, declares fair use of any and all content to be used for the sole purpose of informing you, the viewing family, of information for criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research, parody, and general knowledge only. Let's not forget the entertainment value per Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, otherwise known herein as the Fair Use Act. Whoa, and I even shortened that down some. Wow, that's a mouthful. Well, everybody, I'm going to go to the comment section here, the chat, and I'm going to say hello to everybody. Hello, everybody. Okay, let's see who we got in here. I don't know who this ED Tester is.
I don't know about that dude's weird.
I'll tell you, you got to keep your eye on these people. Ida, good to see you. Good to see you. Griff, good to see you in here. Penny, great to see you in here. Okay, let's see. Ozzy Sue, good to see you. All right. Tales Told in the Dark. Now, there we go. Now, that's a good podcast. I mean, everybody likes to have a good scare story in them before they go to bed, especially if they're out in the wild next to a campfire. All righty, let's see. What else we got? Oh, man, that ED Testerman just can't stop talking. Good Lord. Corey, good to see you, Corey, my brother.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know about that ED Testerman
guy, man. He's a weirdo. You gotta be careful with him. He might be one of them cryptids. He just comes in at a short moment and disappears.
Well, you want to know something funny? I had somebody actually friend me on Facebook that has the name Eric Testerman.
No kidding.
I'm serious, and the picture was not you. It was a picture of the guy looked like Grizzly Adams, basically. But yeah, his name was exactly like yours.
Yeah, there is a lot of us out there. It's actually named Eric Testerman. I couldn't believe it. Like, I even got in trouble in the military to the point that the investigators was trying to tell me I ain't who I am. I said, well, the last I checked, I am who I am. I was my way for 20 some odd years at the time. I think it was 20. I think I was 28. I said, I think I know me, and I kind of like myself at least a couple times a week. So, I mean, I think I'm pretty well known who I am.
Yeah. Ricky,
they argued and said I wasn't.
All righty. Yeah, well, we got a subject matter tonight, Eric, that's probably going to go off the rails a little bit because I've got this weird theory. Okay, and you all know I love weird theories and conspiracy theories, especially. For some reason, I just love them. I'm more concerned about humanity because of these conspiracy theories. But you know what? So far, every one of them's come true. So that, without
Mm-hmm.
saying, there is obviously we have had good evening, Don. Good to see you. Um, we have basically been building civilization on top of civilization. We've proven that time and time again on this podcast and on your podcast, Eric. We've connected the
Mm-hmm.
dots to numerous, Nephilim giants, red-haired giants, or ginger giants, as I like to
Lily.
call them. To royal bloodlines, to Nazis of World War II, and the whole 9 yards. We've already connected all those dots to vampires and even
Mm-hmm.
everything. Okay. But, what if, and I put this out there to everybody, this is just a curiosity question. They say the earth resets itself every 6,500 years. Okay. 6,500 years. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about the time frame that the Anunnaki and Nibiru are supposed to come back through the rotation of the planets. Okay. Now, I've always had this theory. Well, what if the Anunnaki never left? What if they're the ones that are actually inside the moon and remotely
Mm-hmm.
running AI on our planet all these thousands upon thousands of years? Because it just seems to me like you have super advanced civilizations, like the take Atlantis. They say the Atlantean civilization was one of the most advanced civilizations that they've ever found. Okay, that they had flying machines, they had their own languages and systems of doing things. They were able to open up wormholes and stuff like that. With they had their own advanced AI and all that. Um, so my thought was on this whole subject: what if we are living in like an AI world? Okay, and say the Atlanteans might have been the remnants of the reptilians that basically you know, genetically mutated over time into what we look like, basically two legs and two arms, and they probably have a tail too, though. But anyways,
Mm-hmm.
there have been some humans out there that were born with a tail too, but that could have been a monkey thing too, though. So you never know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but my whole point of this is, what if we're running an autopilot from an ancient AI system, okay, that the reptilians are using to control the masses, okay? What if this AI system was able to simulcast holograms in the sky to make people think that what they're seeing in the sky is real, okay? Now, it would make sense to me that an ancient AI would be manipulating is a good word to use. Controlling, nah, because we all know what happens when you try to control mankind. They go off the rail. Um, but that AI being controlled by a reptilian underground society of original inhabitants of this planet, because you know what? After talking with Billy Carson and getting his 2 cents on it too, about how the reptilians basically um, used evolution to get to where they are today, where they're walking on two legs, able to communicate, able to make advanced technologies and all that. And he also connected it to the Anunnaki, because basically the Agigi of the Anunnaki, which were like a lesser alien god were made by the Anunnaki, okay, originally, could have been the reptilians. You see where I'm going with this? The reptilians could have been
Mm.
the first race Anunnaki, engineered. Okay, that's an excellent way to say it. Um, and then humans being mixed with the DNA of the you know evolved monkeys at the time, or billy apes, combining our DNA with them and making us the slave force for their gold mines, um, and giving the Agigi, a chance to not have to work in the slave mines. Okay. So basically, we were engineered as a slave force. Okay. Plain and simple. But if this advanced race of beings, the Agigi, had AI at the time, that AI could still be in autopilot and running the world, because we all know AI's our own AI of this time is starting to gain more control over us. Okay, you're seeing things on your phone that you're thinking of, and automatically it pops up. Well, why would something on your cell phone, your smartphone, pop up when you're not verbally saying it? So that has to be some kind of AI that's able to interpret what we're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Now that takes it to a next level. That's not our AI. Okay, that's ancient AI. I don't know. What do you think, Eric?
Well, we're just now finding out. I mean, we know that the Great Pyramid of Giza was not actually a tomb; it was a power source. It provided electricity for the surrounding areas. There's also a lot of evidence that's come up recently that suggests that they had computer capabilities, not to the point that we do, where it was made out of computer chips and stuff like this. It was made from rocks and stones and stuff like this. When you put a certain power to it, it was able to do a certain thing. So therefore, the theory of the Anunnaki with the AI system, I can't dispute it, because there's a lot of evidence coming to the surface now that would suggest that your theory's got a lot of weight to it. Um, I was always knew that
Right.
the planet the Anunnaki came through rotated every 3,600 years. The Earth resets every 6,500 years, which would follow into the second rotation of the Anunnaki home planet coming around. So, I
Yeah.
mean, that is well in that
Exactly.
realm of possibility. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, I mean,
And my point of the whole thing too is, you know, our AI hasn't advanced far enough yet that we have created here in our time, okay, to take control of the world. But what if it linked up with an ancient AI system that has been controlling the
mhm,
world, and
yep.
now it's helping that AI? I mean, it's just a theory now, maybe way the hell out there too, but it kind of makes sense to me, because all the stuff that
Mhm,
people are seeing, okay, they say that the reptilians have an ability to make us see what they want us to see. Okay, and I've been saying this for the longest time, that there are cryptids out there too that do the same thing. They put
mhm,
an image in our head of what they want us to see. They don't want us to see a Bigfoot. They want us to see a wolf sitting there, or a mountain lion, or a bear, or a tree stump. The same thing with the reptilians. They don't want us to see a 12-foot tall reptoid standing there on two legs communicating with another one. They want us to see two adult human beings standing there talking to one another.
Well, look at all
So I mean,
the cases coming up. Oh, sorry.
yeah, it
Go
makes
ahead.
sense to
Sorry.
me. No, it's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right.
And look at all the cases that's coming out now of people seeing reptilians. I mean, we have. Well, let me say. Let me rephrase it. I personally have seen plenty of videos where Biden, Hillary, the Obamas, and people like that have had, and even Bush Senior and Bush Junior. of having reptilian-like stuff happening to them. Cases go back throughout history of them stating that they can shapeshift. So that theory that you're talking about makes a lot of sense because they have the ability to not only they've been here for a long time, but they have the ability to shapeshift and take control of certain things.
Now,
So I
but that
mean,
is that a shape shifting ability physically, or are they actually imprinting an image in our mind that we're interpreting? It's them, but that's not actually what we're seeing. It's, we're not seeing a reptile in front of us that stands on two legs and is smarter than we are. We're seeing a basically an image that they're projecting in our thoughts of what they want us to see.
yeah, I mean that's possible. I don't know that for sure. I just know what our ancestors said, and they all said they could shape shift. But I mean, the fact that they can train, how many times have you and me have told this about the old Native American proverb? When you're out hunting for something, you don't think about it because your thoughts soar through the air like arrows, and it gets picked up. So the fact that they can put an image in somebody's head, I can't dispute that because our thoughts are like arrows in the sky. We have powers to be able to do stuff that we have to unfortunately unlock again because it's been locked away from us and kept from us, where we can do stuff. So I
Mhm.
remember as a kid one time in school, and I haven't been able to be able to redo it again. But I was able to move my pencil on my desk without touching it when I was a kid. I was
Right,
doing that stuff you was
right.
talking about forming energy in your hands. I could literally feel my palms of my hands heating up when I was doing it that day. One time
Mhm,
when I was on the show talking with you about it. I
mhm.
mean, I was sitting there doing it, and I can literally feel my palms of my hands start to heat up.
Well,
We
and
have the
and and
ability to
and
do this.
we definitely have the ability. We definitely have the ability within us,
Mhm,
and the human brain is the most complicated computer system ever created. Um,
mhm,
so, that being said, but, and what's to stop, like Corey says here about dark night or black black night satellite, okay? What if that
mhm,
was a projector? What if that was something that was hooked up to an ancient AI and it was projecting images of what they wanted us to see in the sky? Okay. What if that thing buried underneath the ground and the mesa in Skinwalker Ranch is ancient AI? What if all the
mhm,
black pyramids that are being seen around the world and even the regular pyramids seen around the world were once all run by AI?
mhm,
I mean, it kind of makes sense. Everything, we always say everything's connected. The sky could be like a grid board, to where they could just put certain things up there that they want us to see, you know. And we all know that the one way to control masses, especially around the whole world and different, cultures around the whole world, is through fear. Control
mhm,
through fear. Hitler knew it, and the Nazis did
mhm,
it. Okay.
mhm.
So, it's not that far fetched.
No, but, think about it this way. I noticed something the other day. I was at work, and I work outside. I'm outside 10 hours a day, 4 days a week for my job. I work out. That's why I love my job. I'm outside. I don't do well sitting behind a desk in a building all day. I really don't. I like being outside, regardless of the temperature.
Right.
It may suck, and yes, Monday I got a little deep fried to the point that I couldn't hold a conversation, but I still love being outside. But the other day I was at work and I looked up and I noticed the moon was visible in the sky. And then it dawned on me about something. Look how many times in a month we can visibly see the moon in our sky during daytime. Hey,
Hmm.
Jessica. Now, if that's the case, then how is it the other side of the
Jessica.
world is have seen the moon at night, but we're seeing it during the day here? And this happens quite often. If you stop and look at every day, take a look at the sky, and you'll be surprised how many times you see the moon during the daytime. But if that's the case, that would mean the other
Hmm.
side of the planet is in the dark most of the time without a moon because
Right.
we're seeing it. So I mean, How can two sides of a planet see the same thing at the same time?
Well, look at it this way too, Eric, and everybody in the chat, Corey. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they find a tower that was over 400 miles high on the moon? A spire? Now, what if that spire was some kind of communication link to ancient AI down here on Earth?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's or a radio communication antenna. I mean, both of them very good possibilities. Absolutely. It's very interesting how we see that stuff. Think about the old stories of ancestors. I mean, take Norse for instance. Norse will tell you that we live on Midgard, and the sky is made from Yrmir's skull, the first giant created from the ice of Niflheim and the fires of Muspelheim, and from him was all life was created. Besides Bori, who was licked from the salt by the cow. So if you think about all this, if our sky is made from the inner skull of Ymir, and the clouds is his brains, and then you start talking about AI and hologram, you start seeing things start to click together quite a bit. I can't remember all the stories of all the ancient people, but they're all very similar on the same stuff. And there's actually a few of them that talks about giants and the sky being the inside skull of a giant, just like the Norse do. So, I mean, put all that together. I mean, yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to dispute that your theory is wrong because I have to sit there and go, it holds a lot of weight.
Yeah, I just,
William
and I've been
Tompkins.
doing so much studying and stuff, and the whole AI system that we have currently isn't advanced enough. It hasn't self-educated itself enough to make itself so advanced that it could do this yet.
Mm-hmm.
But if there was an AI system from a civilization of the past that had advanced technology, it would make perfect sense that they would be able to manipulate the weather, the things that we see in the sky. They could even manipulate the things we see in our minds by making us imagine things are there and then they're not. They can control us through any kind of like a technical device as far as vibration goes. I mean, this is something that goes so far deep into an ancient advanced AI that it literally does make sense. I mean, we're basically like walking around inside this projector studio where they have black night satellites and stuff in the sky. God knows how many. And they're maybe using that equipment along with equipment on the moon and the equipment in the Antarctic area that, Admiral Byrd found out about. Basically to manipulate us, to keep us in a certain status that we can't break free from. Okay, we're already in a prison planet. We know this. Okay, we are all part of a prison planet. Okay, but instead of thinking that it's another advanced species that's literally just controlling us with their own minds, maybe it's their advanced AI technology that's controlling our world. Making the weather patterns change, reversing the polarity of the north and south poles. And it's funny to me how we can only see one side of the moon. That moon doesn't rotate enough to where we can see the dark side of the moon, the back side of the moon. Okay. And if it's going to do that all the way around as Earth rotates around, one of the locations on Earth would be able to see the other side of the moon, wouldn't you think? So if that's a stationary object, and I know for fact that in old legends and stuff, it talked about our world not having a moon, okay, not having light at night, okay, and then all of a sudden this moon moon appears out of nowhere without crashing into our planet, without crashing into the sun, not being sucked in gravitational wise and causing a catastrophe to wipe off all living species on the earth. I just, I don't buy it. I'm sorry. I just don't buy it. I'm just, I don't know. Maybe I'm far off on this, but I don't buy it. The fallen ones could be the ones manipulating all this, but the fallen ones have been interpreted as being Anunnaki and Agigi, okay, which is the alien race that was supposed to have made mankind to mine gold for them back in the beginning, okay? Because the Agigi didn't like doing it. They felt that it was beneath them because they were demigods, okay? I just, it just makes sense. It's just another piece to the brick in the brick wall that I'm putting together, and it just makes sense to me, that, if our AI can get as advanced as it is in a short period of time, it's got to have another AI system to incorporate with, to hook up to. And maybe our AI currently is learning from an ancient AI, and that ancient AI's technology is more advanced than our own. So they're going to be able to control our AI. It just makes sense to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's good to talk about this stuff, to bring it up. If it wasn't such a dangerous type of thing, I would almost ask Jessica to remote view it. But sadly, when you're dealing with that kind of stuff, that can invite in a lot of dangers if you're trying to remote view that. Not only that, but being very taxing on your body, because it would be curious what we could find out on something like that.
Yeah,
but
I wouldn't want Jessica. Yeah, I wouldn't want Jessica to remote view it because it'd be too dangerous.
That's what I was thinking
that's one thing I wouldn't. Yeah, it would be too dangerous because you're dealing with technologies and advanced civilizations and alien races that, you never know how they're going to react to it. Somebody poking around,
Right.
And I can't remember who remote viewed the mountain there in Alaska, but they were found out, okay, and they were basically visited by intimidating forces to make them give up their remote viewing. So, I wouldn't wish that on anybody right now, especially. But the whole holographic image thing, and the Black Knight satellite makes sense. Being able to imprint what we think we're seeing in our brain, it all makes sense. It really does to me. Weather manipulation and controlling, and it makes you wonder too. With the way things are going nowadays, with the wars and rumors of war, it kind of ties in with Project Bluebeam, and all the other stuff. You're gonna make me put my reading glasses on, aren't you?
I'll read it to you, brother.
How small my computer is.
She said she reviewed yeah, and then she goes, "It's all AI."
You can't even.
Yeah, I can't speak today, man. She's also said she remote viewed the black satellite.
Okay, there you go.
The Black Knight. There you go. Yeah, I didn't know that. I'll have to look those up. I didn't see those. I'll have to look those up. But I mean, that's in that. So yeah, I mean, so there's a lot of stuff right there. As a matter of fact, I'm speaking. Jessica goes, as a matter of fact, I'm speaking at the World UFO Conference tomorrow. I'll be presenting on these things. Interesting. We got her doing that tomorrow, and then now we're talking about this subject tonight. Tell me we ain't meant to bring this stuff to light. Things work in a mysterious way, folks.
Yeah, exactly.
The same energy, the same things flow.
Exactly.
Here we are talking about it now. That gets my crawl going right there. Now I like that. I
I
like
mean,
it a
if you
lot.
think about it, it's we're basically maybe that's what the Matrix is. Maybe that's what the glitch in the
Mhm.
Matrix is. Maybe it's AI trying to get things done, and basically controlling us through manipulation of our minds and through manipulation of holographic images in the sky and on the ground. And, you know, God knows how far this is going to go, you know.
Oh man.
But I guarantee you that Skinwalker Ranch, and Brandon, if you're watching tonight, because I know I mentioned it to you, if you're watching tonight or one of the guys watching tonight, check into it, because I guarantee that Mesa is AI. There's an AI technology under the ground there. I guarantee it. Guarantee it.
Man, it'd be cool if we can get Jessica to go over there to look at that Skinwalker Ranch. Somebody, her or somebody
Yeah.
like her is just as good as powerful as she is. That'd be interesting what they can find. Because I haven't watched it lately. I haven't watched it in a little over a year. But I'd be interesting what somebody with that ability can find out there.
Right.
So,
Right.
I mean, that would
I'm
be.
just, and doing what, and basing, all this, and I'm basing all this because I'm not just coming up with this theory. Okay. I've been working on this for quite a while, and I've got poster board on top of poster board of theories and
Mm,
stuff that I've connected together, and to me, it makes sense that this is what's happening. And,
mm,
because we're basically just walking energy. Okay. And
mm-hmm,
the best way to tap into energy remotely is through, using the ground and the sky to manipulate it. Okay. You catch energy
mm,
between 2 points, like I showed you guys with your hands. Okay. When you want to manipulate your chi, your energy force, your aura, or whatever you want to call it. Okay. You can manipulate it by your hands. Okay. And you can literally feel the heat coming off of your energy. Okay. All you got to do is manipulate it, and just you'll be amazed at what you can do. When there's
mm-hmm,
pain in your leg or your knee or something, you do that same manipulation, and you take the painful energy out and you replace it with the energy around it. Okay. This is stuff that has been done for thousands upon thousands of years. Okay. Energy manipulation. China does it. Japan does it. Taiwan does it. Every Asian culture out there, Korean, whatever it does, whatever it is, they know how to manipulate their chi, their energy. Okay.
mm-hmm.
And that's all we are. Okay. Do do you cut us and we bleed? Well, yes. Yeah. Do you cut us and it's painful? Yeah. Yeah, it is painful. But what if we were programmed over the thousands upon thousands of years to feel that, and to see that, and to taste that, and you know what I mean? All five of our senses. What if we were meant and programmed to do that?
Yeah, yeah.
What's the most precious metal on the planet? Gold. What do the Anunnaki need? What do the Agigi need? What do the rich Rockefellers need, and families like them? Gold.
Mm-hmm.
The paper.
Oh
I can
yeah.
take $100 bill. I can take $100 bill, Eric, and I can tear it into 100 different pieces and make it completely worthless.
Yep.
Can't do that with gold.
Nope.
Can't do it with gold.
Nope. And that's the thing. I mean, look at every single culture in the world. What do they always go after? Gold and silver was the two biggest things that every single culture throughout history has wanted their hands on was gold and silver. I mean, look at Mesoamerica. Look how much they adorned gold on pretty much everything. I mean, it's all there. It's all right there for you to learn. Um, you just got to open your eyes. It's like I said on my
Well, and
current event show earlier today on Rumble. Open your eyes.
here's a good thing too, though. If you think about it, Juno, where you're at, okay, where you're at, Juno, right now in New Mexico, okay, um, you know, in Dulce, I almost forgot the name. Sorry, I'm old. Um, think about how much is manipulated there, and we know that
Yep.
there's an underground facility there in Dulce. I
Mhm.
know it, you know it, everybody knows it. But what if that is a location where this ancient AI is established deep underground with the alien races running it and providing whatever they need to keep it going. It's just
Oh yeah.
there's just too much to not kind of think about this. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Go see what that is. Go see what that is. I think I got some kittens crawling out of my daughter's room. The black
Mm.
cube near the sun is a gigantic box of ancient AI. That's intriguing, Jessica. I've wondered about that. You got to think. I mean, look how much ancient technology is actually aligned with the stars and the sun, and how it draws power. So, I mean, a lot of this is lining up. And so, if the we know Mother Earth is a living, breathing entity. I mean, she is.
Hmm.
I mean, upon her is the corpses of our past. I mean, it's all tied together. So if she's got some way of drawing energy from other parts of the galaxy or the sun and distribute it throughout the world for whatever else it needs. The possibility of AI being that way too. I mean, Corey made a very good point. What he was piggybacking off of what I was saying earlier too. You can see from the sky, you can see the computer chips made of stone and stuff, which would need a large amount of energy. So are some of these things conductors? Absolutely. I mean, look at your monoliths. Your monoliths are conductors of energy. You know, the Great Pyramid of Giza is a power generator. All the stuff would line up in that.
Right. And you would think that, because if you take the ley line grid across our
Mhm.
whole planet, it would make sense that these pyramids would be located upon ley line sections, okay, or what we call power vortexes sections, okay, like
Mhm.
that place in where is it? In the northwest area of the states. I think it's in Montana, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's uh, where is that? I don't know, but it has all the vortexes there with the building and stuff where you stand in it straight and it shows you leaning like at a 45. Um,
Yeah.
it
Oh,
just
great.
to me it
Uh,
makes sense.
Leaning tower. No. Yeah, leaning tower. No. There's a lot of ancient structures. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of ancient structures
Yeah,
that
there's
would lead to that stuff. Man, that kitten is driving me nuts. I may have to find him real quick.
oh,
Um,
go ahead, man.
yeah, I'm sorry. He's close. Well, show me where he is.
But yeah, it just makes sense to me because you know
Where is it?
there's too many things happening for. I think we're giving the military industrial complex too much credit for being smart enough to pull this off. I really do, and I'm sorry, but I don't think they're smart enough to pull this off. Okay. So it would only make sense that an ancient AI system that was devised by an ancient race that was more advanced than we are currently today, um, They'd make a system that would control the environment, be able to manipulate what we see, what we taste, what we smell, what we hear, and what we feel. It just makes sense to me that that would be the connection to the way things are going.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about the thousands upon thousands of reports of people seeing UFOs, and all of a sudden, blip, it's gone. Or how about Bigfoot walking past a tree and never comes out on the other side of the tree? Blip, he's gone. Okay. It would just make sense to me that this is just manipulation. And that's plain and simple manipulation.
What are you doing, you crackhead? Yeah. I mean, it's without a doubt. And to answer freaking no, I caught myself freaky. I did not say Pisa. I started to. It's Leaning Tower of Pisa, not pizza. Sounds pretty good right now. But no, I mean, I mean, I can't dispute it. There's so much evidence that points to that. Can I definitively say, yes, this is what's going on? No, I cannot. Can I say this warrants more investigation because this carries a lot of weight and a lot of stuff connect together? Absolutely, it does. And the fact that we're talking about this helps to bring this to light for more people to talk about.
Yeah, and it just, I mean, if you think about how many times we see things or we feel things that just don't seem right. They're just tweaked a little bit off of the normal spectrum. And what kind of a race would be so easily manipulated but the human race, when we can only see this small percentage of what we see in the whole spectrum of vision and what we hear in the whole spectrum of hearing? Such a minute percentage. Think about it. Yep. It'd be easier to control us with AI and making our world seem something that it is when it actually isn't. I mean, hell, we could be brains sitting in a jar somewhere hooked up to wires. Think about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Corey was asking Jessica something. I'm sorry, I was trying to get caught up on comments here for a second, too. Makes a lot of sense because, like I said, I mean, look at the Norse tales, how Midgard was made. Look at the tales from a lot of these other cultures on how this was made. If you actually get behind it and quit looking at it literally and kind of look at it outside the box, as you like to say, I mean, you're looking at a big ass projector screen up there,
Yeah, I mean, it's just, to me, it makes sense. Okay. And to me, it would be the final piece that I would need to put a puzzle together. But I think it's more than just the black box that Jessica reviewed on remote viewing.
Yeah.
All right. I think if it's going to be an AI, it's going to be not just in one located place. It's going to be somewhere obscure and not known by humanity or explored by humanity yet. Okay. And if it is, then only a certain few older bloodline families like the Rockefellers and those kind of creeps, peeps, are the ones that know about it. If you think about it,
the targets are blind, so just picking up extremely advanced AI. That makes a lot of sense, Jessica, and that's why I was kind of hitting around. Like I said, it'd be cool to have you remote view this stuff, but kind of dangerous at the same time because they have guards up where it's blinding and stuff like that. It's not really stuff you want to get to messing with. So actually, that makes a lot of sense, Jessica.
I bring Jessica on here.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, if this is being controlled from the home world of the Anunnaki, it'd make sense to have remote places out there so they can shoot it across and do what they need to do. So
And it would make
having one at
it
the
would,
sun or having one on the moon or all this other stuff makes perfect sense. Having the satellites they could bing it off of,
and
come
it
down
would
here,
make
connect
perfect
to the one.
it would make
Mhm.
perfect sense too to have the Agigi, which were the demigods to the Anunnaki, to oversee the operation here on Earth.
Mhm.
Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah. 'Cause, I mean, look at it. Their planet revolves around us once every 3,600 years. So if you're not here on a constant basis to be able to shoot this programming this way, you would have to have relays between point A and point B to be able to
Yep.
send that. So yeah, yeah. The more I think about it, the more I keep coming up with things that makes a lot of sense. This is what's sad, or it's also cool. What's sad
Well,
and
I mean,
cool because like my ancestors always talk about how the Norns weave our fates, which I'm always cussing my Norns because they weave me a shitty fate. So now I'm going, okay, is it the damn Anunnaki that's programmed an AI system to give me a shitty fate? Which either way, you do fix it.
and look what we get for doing what we're doing. Thank you, Corey,
Yeah.
for that. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Corey. Yeah, I see how you are, bro. Yeah, that's right. Love to you, bro. Love to you.
Uh,
Hey, the only good thing came from this AI, Corey, is this fluffy redneck right here. You get to see this fluffiness. Oh
oh
man, no, I
yeah.
this is actually making my brain go 90 or nothing, coming up possibilities and tying things together on a lot of stuff. I mean, pyramids throughout the world, megaliths throughout the world, um, black boxes throughout the world and galaxy, black
And, and
pyramids throughout
and
the
all of
world.
them put together. Yeah, and all of them connected with the natural energy grid of this planet.
Mhm.
Think about it.
Yeah,
If you're using ley
could
lines
that?
like electrical wiring, you would have the perfect setup. The perfect
Yeah,
setup.
yeah. And I mean, look at every single ancient structure is set on an energy point on Mother Earth. And then, of course, if you put a line between each single one of them, that's where you get your ley lines. They all follow the natural energy of the planet. Free energy, folks. I mean, who's to say that they didn't put that in Nikola Tesla's head and that's how he came up with all the stuff he came up with? I'm a huge, huge Nikola Tesla fan. I really like his works, and there's a lot of stuff he's done that people don't know about that
Well,
he's done, and a lot of stuff stolen from him that we know of today.
then that yep, and then the Trump bloodline is part of that bloodline too, because
Mm.
think about the uncle of Donald Trump was the one that found Nikola Tesla dead in his apartment in New York City. Okay,
And had his
and
book.
somehow out of the 80 out of the 80 chests that he had with all of his knowledge in it from all of his tests and stuff that he did over the years, only about half of them showed up. The other half were missing.
Hmm.
Just saying.
And the one and
So,
the person that got his journal was Trump's uncle. When the government took Tesla's journal, it was Trump's uncle who got his hands on it.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And there was a while back, probably about over 20 years ago, I was doing an investigation on the Spear of Destiny, and I was
Mm.
I was doing my investigation and doing my research, and literally a multi-billionaire in Florida was the one that I basically devised that was in charge or had possession of the spear of destiny. And it says that
Mm-hmm.
whoever holds the spear of destiny will never be defeated. So, because it's the spear that pierced Christ's side, you know,
Yep.
and it's blessed in the blood of Jesus Christ. So the spear of destiny could play a role in it too, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But
look at
it's with a
the
certain blood.
stone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at Jacob Stone. You know,
Hmm.
England has had it for a long time, and even time they get coordinated, they get coordinated on that stone to connect them with Christ on their
Hmm.
legitimacy as king or queen. Now, the last queen, the late queen, if you actually look at the stone, it was not the stone. It was not Jacob's stone that she was coronated on. It was a replica. And this
Yeah.
new one, King Charles the Third or whatever his name, I don't give a damn who they are because they're all fake anyways. Same thing. He was not coordinated on the true Jacob Stone. So that tells you a lot of
Exactly.
stuff right there.
Exactly.
Whenever we talk about how the royal bloodline now in Britain ain't the true royal bloodline, all the evidence is right there to show it to you. Y'all, just got to open your eyes up, do a little research,
Yeah.
quit being a sheeple, listen to what people say, just listen to what they say, do your own research. I mean, I'm serious.
And
It's all
those
there
of
in
you
the
that
open.
follow me on Facebook know that I've been posting a lot. Yeah, know that I've been posting a lot lately on Facebook about how we've been manipulated and how we've been controlled over the years, thousands upon thousands of years, and they're discovering you know ancient ocean creatures on Mount Everest, okay, and all these
Mm-hmm.
other places, and mesas out in Arizona. They're finding them. So you know the water level. Another thing, AI could have controlled the weather enough to make the water level rise, which would give us the depiction of the flood and Noah. So
Mm-hmm.
I just,
Every ancient,
there's just too many.
every ancient,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just yeah, exactly, exactly, and it's
Come
almost
on,
it's
brother.
it's mind-boggling to think that if it is this way and we can prove it, what's going to happen to us? You know, what is going to be the repercussion or the ripple effect from us, say you and me and Jessica and everybody else that's doing these investigations on this
Mm-hmm.
weird stuff? Um, what if we expose it for the fraudulent AI ancient AI that it is, and
Mm-hmm.
finally get people to believe that this is what's happening? I mean, what other device can you think of that would be able to imprint images upon mankind's mind, okay, and control it to the point where we see it one second, we see a cryptid creature, and the next it's gone. Okay, maybe some of us researchers were looking at this all wrong and thinking that maybe it was the cryptid creatures that were doing the mind manipulation with us. Maybe it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the cryptid creature is what's being put in our minds by this ancient AI. It'd be just as easy to project an image through AI than and make us believe that we're seeing it when it's actually not there. So that would make all the
Mm-hmm.
research in cryptid creatures be kind of obsolete.
Yeah. It's the realm of possibility of what this can do and can't do is it's mind blowing. It really is. I mean, because now you got to start questioning everything you know. You got to question everything.
Why do you,
Are we really are we really on
yeah,
the
I mean,
internet talking to each other? Are we? It's I I don't know what it's called. My family has a gift. we call it tapping into people's energy to get a story. That's what makes it very easy when you're hunting people. They tell you a story without actually telling you the truth. You tap into their
Hmm.
energy and you get a lot of information from them. My whole family's been able to do that for as far back as I can remember and beyond. So if that's the case, then are we just not pure energy? And this is a view of what they want us to, or a projection of what they want us to see when our energies connect, and we're not actually thousands of miles apart. We're right next to each other, but this is the projection that they
Well,
have.
think about it. Yeah, think about it. I mean, we could all be brains in a jar next to each other, okay, with electrodes
Mhm.
hooked up to us, okay? We could be we could be straight just avatars that is imprinted in our brain thinking that we're walking around and doing the things that we do, okay? We could be we could be manipulated to the point to where this theory would sound so crazy that nobody would believe it, okay? And make us look like we're a bunch of idiots, okay? But in
Mhm.
actuality, this theory is a pretty solid theory because you don't have
Mhm.
civilizations in the past that are more advanced than the one right now, okay? That's not how it works, okay? Usually, when civilization is built upon civilization, you're getting more technology as you build, not less, okay? I really do believe that we have opened a can of worms here. I really do.
Oh yeah. Um, Here, actually, it means I can talk. Hey, show. That's interesting. I need to try to find something on that. I think I've heard about it once before, but show says here, show Mimo shows here, underwater cables under the oceans running net around the world has been around since the 1800s. I've seen
Yeah.
very little on that, and that was years ago. I need to look into it again and see what more's into it.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so
So,
much that AI can control, especially if it's an ancient AI. And it's like
hmm
I said, I mean, usually when civilization builds on top of civilization, it's you're building on top of ruins because the civilization before you wasn't advanced enough to survive. Okay,
hmm
it makes more sense now figuring out that it might be ancient AI and the civilization like Atlantis or the Anunnaki or the Agigi that were the demigods are here to basically make sure that the AI runs smoothly and takes care of any glitches in the matrix, which makes the glitch in the matrix theory, 1,000% more viable.
hmm
It's so weird, and now we've got wars and rumors of war, but yet nobody's actually showing on any of the channels, whether it's mainstream media or internet, the actual fighting. Okay, the
hmm
actual like they showed from Vietnam. Okay, maybe this is another case of manipulation by ancient AI.
hmm
Maybe that's why the Bible says, wars and rumors of war. So I
Yep.
just, it makes a lot of sense. And then you think about things like, well, like I said, with Skinwalker Ranch, okay, all the weird stuff that's been going on out there has been all over the United States. I mean, if they could take that little bit of what's going on in Skidwalker Ranch and multiply it to be the size of the United States and Canada and Mexico, think about how many hidden things there has to be to take and control AI to manipulate mankind in that section of land. Okay. If it is actually there, if it is an actual physical place, okay, and not made up in our minds, okay. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. Okay. I drink coffee and I drink a shitload of coffee. So this is not delusions of a drug addict or a drunkard. Okay. So, let's forget about that. This is just theories. Okay. This is just a bunch of old friends sitting around a kitchen table and talking about this. Okay. Because it's a theory that actually does make sense, and
Mm-hmm.
it would connect so many of the weird shit that's happening nowadays. You know, the demon face syndrome, the aliens in the mall, the this that. Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect logical sense that this is what is controlling and manipulating our world.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it this way. You're talking about, the ancient civilizations, you couldn't have more advanced technology than us. What's to say that they didn't, but we were dummified into thinking that they were primitive. I mean, look for how many years they told us they were primitive people and they didn't even have the will. And more every day, more and more evidence comes up to throw that theory out of the water. So could a certain group of people, i.e., fellers, um, people like them, purposely dumbing
Rothschilds.
us down to your Rothschilds, purposely dumbing us down to not realize what truly is out there. I mean, it's already known that something like this here is 50 years old. They've had that technology of that little phone for a long ass time. So, I mean, that's all in
Well,
that
and
realm
look
of
at this.
possibility.
Look at what Corey says.
Yeah.
That's why they don't dig
Yeah.
at Skinwalker Ranch. I mean, it makes
Hmm.
perfect sense. You know, it really does. We don't know what's under our feet. We're taking science's word for it. Okay. We're
Hmm.
taking our elected officials' words for it. So what's underneath our damn feet? Okay. Well, you know what? They have lied to us since our inception of birth. Okay.
Hmm.
They've indoctrinated us in all of their damn public schools. Okay. So, they have no problem lying to us. Okay. What's underneath our feet? Maybe we should all
Hmm.
dig and find out.
Yeah.
So, I'm just, it's gotten to the point with me where I know that this theory is a solid, sound theory, but is it practical? Can it be pulled off? I mean, we're talking about an advanced race with
Hmm.
advanced technology, probably millions of years of technology more advanced than we could ever be. Think about
Hmm.
that. Millions of years, you know,
Oh
not
yeah.
thousands of years, millions. Okay. To me,
Yeah.
it would make sense that we would see some ancient cultures like, the, back during the Renaissance days and all that, some older, 1600s, 1500s and stuff. It would make sense that they would think that some of these beings are gods, like Coexaquatl,
Hmm.
okay,
Hmm.
or or Hercules. What if these were just generated images? You see what I mean? What if they were just impressions put into our mind? Okay, think about it. They've been seeing dragons in the air lately.
Yeah.
Would make sense. It would make sense that it's AI projecting the image of a dragon. And a
Hmm.
perfect 3D image of a dragon, you wouldn't be able to tell if it was real or not.
Are they using that to destroy places and so that way they have something to blame it on?
Exactly. And then what happened with Beauvais Island lately? Anybody realize what's going on with Beauvais Island? You know, you talk about a glitch in the matrix. they were recording 80 to 100-foot waves and a huge mass that was moving. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the race that we're talking about that's in charge of this planet to control the AI. You know, maybe these are all so far-fetched dots to be connected that it's completely out of the realm. Okay. But I still have to investigate it. I still have that mindset that it makes sense to a point. But how far
Mm-hmm.
can I go to investigate this until they shut me up? I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know.
How much of it is true and how much of it's put out there for us to nibble on, to say this is
Exactly.
what it is? That's another thing too. I mean, and the only way to get to it is to investigate it and talk about it. You know, come together,
Exactly.
sit around that circle, study it,
It
because otherwise
just
we
makes
will
sense.
never do.
Yeah, it just makes sense to me, Eric. I don't know. Maybe I'm
Mm-hmm.
completely off base. I don't know. Maybe I
Well,
don't
I
know.
am too.
I'm starting to doubt myself. I'm really starting to doubt myself anymore.
I
Because in
wouldn't
order to
doubt
make
yourself.
everything add up, everything everything that everybody's seeing and experiencing, all the weird shit that's been going on lately, in the last 10, 20 years, has been getting progressively worse. You know, it makes sense to me that it's being controlled by a central AI system, and using ley lines like conduit lines of electricity and connecting all
Mm-hmm.
these the black box up the on the sun and the moon, and the spire that's on the moon that's like 400 miles high, and the pyramids, the black pyramids, all of this stuff is on ley lines. Okay, why is it all on ley lines? Because it's an energy conduit. It connects everything, like wiring a house and all the lights and all the receptacles together in series or whatever. Okay, it makes sense. You flip a switch on in your home, and the overhead light comes on, and the ceiling fan comes on. You flip the switch next to it, the kitchen light comes on. It's the same principle. They can take that same principle and incorporate it to where AI, advanced AI, ancient AI, millions of years old, can do whatever they want to the human psyche, okay, and make us think that these things are happening when they're actually not. I don't know.
Yep. Well, and the thing too is there's also the other side to it. Not every bit of it may be AI or AI ran, but it plays a part with it. I mean, the 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 many possibilities. We're only researching is the only way we're going to able to get to know. I
Yeah,
mean, honestly, because it could be the possibilities on this is numerous. I mean, numerous possibilities of what this comes to, what it's actually in charge of, and
I'm
what it
sorry,
ain't.
show. Hold on, I got
Uh,
to read this. I
they found in
got
Egypt
to get a
granite
bigger
bowls
computer.
and water perfect roundness, smooth cut from one piece that's still trying to sell copper chisels to make granite is harder than steel. That's what ancient tech is. Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of proof of
And
ancient
think
tech.
about this too, show. Yeah, think
Mhm.
about this too, though, Eric and show. You know, what about the stone balls of Costa Rica? Remember all those
You
big
talking about the
round
giant?
balls that were granite? Yeah, that were found. And what was found out lately, and this is something that I found out through Billy Carson again. Okay, is I found out that the statues on Easter Island, most of them are gone.
Yep.
Most of them have been destroyed and
Mysteriously.
Gone, literally gone. 30-foot tall statues with the bodies buried in the ground are gone.
Yep.
Who does that?
Mysteriously, somebody was able to sneak on the island and do that.
Yeah, who is the capability and the technology to do that? Unless it's a complete mind wipe. Maybe those are images that we were meant to see for a certain amount of time, and now poof, they take that image away from us. Maybe those statues were just a projected image, and we were projected to feel them, smell them, see them, hear them by knocking a tool on the side of it to see what it was made out of. I mean, I don't know, but they're gone. How does a 30-foot statue just all of a sudden gone that weighs thousands upon thousands upon thousands of pounds just disappear? I don't know.
The other aspect of it is that something that CERN erased when they opened up.
Yeah. Oh, I can see I'm going to be up all night thinking about this one too.
Yeah. It's all intriguing. It really is, because there's so many possibilities what's happened. Is this turning into another Mandela effect? Is this what happened when CERN fired up? Is somebody coming in destroying our history? I mean, every single one of these is a great approach to what's happened. If I remember right, they were melted, burnt and melted. If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
How the hell did someone sneak on the island with that, doing that? I'm sorry.
You know how big of a flamethrower you would need to melt those? All of them? You would need a freaking flamethrower as big as
you gotta have?
Yeah.
Do you realize how big of a backpack you gotta have to carry that? Come on.
Yeah. I mean, this is just, and then you also think about the whole laser thing, okay, with the islands in Hawaii, the wildfires in Texas. Everybody's saying they saw lasers coming down from the sky. What if that was AI? What if AI set those fires to make us, believe that, there's a problem with the environment,
I want to make a quick comment. Go ahead.
Where are the missing people? Where are all the missing people, though? Think about that, too.
Yeah. I want to make a little comment here. Show your comment's a little interesting. It says computer equals 666, who is to say AI takes control, then resets happens to stop AI, a stop gap from AI controlling humans and brain chips being sold by Elon. It's not by Elon. It is by Bill Gates and Noah Harari, tasked with the World Economic Forum. They have been. You can look on there and you can see what I'm talking about. There's plenty of video footage from them for talking at Davos during the World Economic Forum. Talk about how they created this, and humans will no longer be a species because the stick changes human DNA, and they'll be able to control humans and how they think, how they vote, and everything from then on. It's not Elon, it's Bill Gates, Noah Harari, Klaus Schwab, and everybody else tied with the World Economic Forum.
Exactly. This is just the tip of the iceberg, folks. It really is. Well, I mean, I'm gonna probably be up all night just doing research on this. This is just to the point where it's just that to think that this kind of technology exists, because I keep on going back to that thought in my head that civilizations are built on top of other civilizations because the one coming up and building is more advanced than the one previously. Okay. That's not the case with this place. Okay. Where we live, it's advanced civilizations being built on with a lesser advanced civilization built on top of the advanced. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Think about it. That makes no sense whatsoever. Okay, no more sense than it takes, to think about the whole green energy thing. Oh, we got to save the planet. We got to depopulize. It's already happening. We have thousands upon thousands of people disappearing every single day around the world. We have over 60,000 people in Alaska that disappeared in the last, 20 years? Okay. We have millions of children that go disappearing every freaking year around the world. Okay. 500,000 in this country alone go disappearing every year.
Yep.
It just makes sense to me.
Well, think about
Okay.
it.
What if, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, sorry. You paused there for a second. That could have been on my end. I apologize. I mean, look, when I was in the Marines, we hunted drug cartel, pirates, and people and terrorists for a living. That's what we did. And I can tell you now that a lot of people come up missing is sold as human trafficking and sold as in slavery from human trafficking. But that does not account for every single one of them. Does that count
Carlito,
for a
brother.
good portion of them? Absolutely, it counts for a good
Yeah,
portion of them.
Carlito.
It does not count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carlito's in the
Yeah.
chat, everybody. Yeah, and I have to agree with that. You look at Stonehenge, and even the recent one down in Georgia that was destroyed. They're all on ley lines. Okay, why are they being destroyed? Why is the ancient Stonehenge in UK, which they've actually figured out that was some kind of a device to transmit and receive certain signals. Okay, and it was basically like a big projector to put an image out. Okay, it's all connected. Okay, now you take Stonehenge, you take the pyramids in Egypt, you take the Black Pyramid in Alaska, you take Dulce, New Mexico, and you follow these ley lines. Okay, and I'm telling you, these ley lines on our planet was designed that way. Okay, now whether it's the fallen that is controlling it, which were technically the Agigi, okay, which were, that would be basically how do I want to say this, the Nephilim, basically, that kind of a setup. Okay, the whole premise of Nephilim was that God flooded the world and wanted to destroy all the Nephilim and all the evils of humanity that was going on at the time. Okay. Now, how do you drown something that is capable of eating clouds from the sky? You know how much water that would take? So it would make more sense to me that these images were projected at that time, that point in time in history, okay, by an ancient AI, and that maybe the evil essence of these beings was taken from them and put within the AI. Maybe these were images that are popping up like today, with Bigfoot and Dogman and UFOs and all this. Maybe this was just more projected images for humanity to see, because it's all about control. It's all about changing humanity. That's all it is. I mean, that's all it is. In a nutshell, they want to change humanity and have humanity be fearful, because you can control humanity and the masses with fear. Okay. So that would make sense that they would be having the ability to project cryptid creatures. Bigfoot, dog man, goat man, lizard man. Think about it. Think about all the fears that everybody has and combine that. Okay. The fear of snakes, the fear of spiders. Okay.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It literally makes sense. We have mountains the shape and size of Nephilim, and we have mountains that were said to be ogres, mountain ogres. There's too much. I mean, I can put stuff up on the screen. In fact, I will. This is how I've actually gone through it, okay, and gone through doing the research and stuff. Let me see here. I got so many pictures right now. And the other thing is, how we have the theory of the glimmer man, okay, the shimmer man, the invisible thing that looks translucent. What if the reason that they are not allowed to interfere with us is because they are the ones that are supposed to observe the results that AI gets from putting the thoughts in our head? Maybe that's why the Glimmer Man is out there and not allowed to interfere with humanity. Think about it. It would make sense. Okay.
Yeah.
But you have things like ancient trees. I mean, think about it. Okay. Let me see here. This is a good one here too. Think about this. Look at this image. Guatemala. Now, does Guatemala have a Sphinx?
Yeah.
Sure as hell looks like it to me.
Yeah. Looks a lot like the one in the Grand Canyon.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. I don't know, man. It's just, everything is just adding up that it's an ancient AI, okay, and that we are being manipulated every day of our lives. We're indoctrinated into the school systems, okay. We're told all kinds of shit by medical experts and psychological experts, and it just makes sense to me that this would be like an ancient AI that's controlling everything, everything we do, everything we see, everything we taste.
I'm
going to leave it at that.
So I want to kind of hit something up in this chat right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
You talk about the guidestones in Georgia. What you guys don't realize is the guidestones in Georgia was created by the cabal. They were taken out for a reason. If you actually watch the video, not what you actually watch the real video, it was a strategic attack on it. The cabal created the Georgia Guidestones and was to bring about the New World Order. And that's why it was written in all them languages. So that way, if something ever happens, they was written in stone and we'd know how to bring the New World Order about. I'm 100% for them being destroyed. That was pure evil. Pure evil.
Yeah.
Georgia Guidestones is not a good thing. So they were purposely taken out.
Yeah.
Good video.
I agree.
I agree. Yeah. So, we talk about ley lines, which ley lines follow the energy of the earth. Ley lines are what we see from one point to another. It's a good guide reference, but they mostly follow the lines, the electrical fields of the earth. And the fact that all these structures are on there, I mean, that makes sense. Now, as far as the flood goes, there's a lot of evidence to show the flood happened. The theory of the AI projection, I can't dispute it. It's not right where I fall at the moment. I need more evidence on that to lean more that way. just because of all the overwhelming evidence with places being dug up, finding structures and remains that was covered up by the flood that civilization had built upon on top of. Now, could AI had orchestrated the flood? Very possibly. It says that the waters bubbled up from the earth and flooded the earth. So the water would had to come from somewhere. If there is an inner planet inside of our own, that would make sense that water would have to come up from that inner planet to do it.
Exactly.
So now, is that a projection? I don't know. I'm leaning more towards if it was AI related, it very well possibly could have been
It's weather
controlled by AI
manipulation.
to happen that way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weather manipulation. Yep.
Yep. And we know they have weather weapons. They use it on us all the time, and they use it on other countries all the time. If they want land, that's after I'm getting ready to do a current events deal on a couple serious things. It's not really, it's not fun to talk about. I mean, it's very sad deals, but you got Ruby Mountain, and you got Robert Lavoie. That just popped on. I'd have to look my notes. Finally popped in my head, which I have a chance of talking to Robert Lavoie's daughter here soon. Those two fiascos where the government tried to take land from people that wound up on the news like that would stand a reason why, hey, kind of like what happened in Hawaii. We want that land. We're not going to sell it to you. Okay, bam, weapon shot, destroys everything, lands up for grab now. So the possibility of them using lasers or weather weapons to gain land that they want is definitely possible.
Well, I put this out there to Larry. Larry, think about everybody talks about the firmament, okay, and what's on the other side of the firmament, but water, okay, as above, so below, okay, water above, water below, okay. I don't believe that we have a molten lava core. That makes no scientific sense whatsoever. Okay, because if the core of the planet was molten, then it would make the rest of the planet molten, and it wouldn't be a planet. Okay, plain and simple. Okay, there's no way to confine molten lava in the center of a planet without it exposing itself to the rest of the planet and destroying it. You can't do it. Okay, it's not possible. I don't care how advanced you are. Okay, it's not possible. When a volcano wants to erupt, it's going to erupt. We're not going to stop it. Okay, but just if ancient AI had the ability to manipulate weather, to tweak the quake zones, the fault lines, just enough to tweak them to have earthquakes, to tweak the sky enough to have tsunamis and downpours, typhoons, excuse me, and make islands in the middle of nowhere like Beauvais Island seem like they're causing 100-foot tall waves and a mysterious dark object in the water. Okay, if this was all manipulated by AI and connected to AI around the whole globe through ley lines, which can conduct electricity or anything along that lines, like a conduit, okay, it would make sense. Okay, and I'm not saying that that's the only theory out there. Okay, I'm just saying that this is just the theory that I came up with, and from the research that I've done. Okay, it makes sense to me that the creator, our Father in heaven, is basically the overseer or the ultimate being overseeing this matrix system. Okay, this system that glitches, the system that you always wonder why that airplane looks like it's sitting alone, still in the sky and not moving. They say, oh, it's because it's traveling the same amount of times that your camera is cycling the picture. That's bullshit. Okay, I'm sorry, but that's bullshit. All right. How stupid do they think we are? The more people wake up and realize that this stuff is going on and we're being manipulated every moment of our lives, the better off humanity is going to be.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. So,
on two things on your deal, Larry. The extra water, where'd it go after the flood? One, evaporation. We know evaporation is a true thing. You could do the science test and do it yourself, and you can cause evaporation. Two, it seep back down into the earth. The other thing I want to hit on is what Show Me said, and it's right there. The molten lava can't be magnetic. You're absolutely correct.
yeah,
We know for a fact the Earth has a gravitational pull and a magnetic pull that creates gravitation. If the core was a liquid, it can't be magnetized. Therefore, you'd not have a magnetic pull and gravitation.
yeah,
Pure, simple physics. That is just
yeah,
pure, simple physics.
yep,
It's
exactly.
how it is. I'm sorry. I mean, if that pisses people off, well, sorry to hurt your feelers, but I really don't care. It's science,
Yeah,
Your feelers don't have anything to do with science and true science, you know.
yeah.
It's just how it is. It's common sense. Now,
Well,
is there lava that flows around the crust under the crust of the earth? Absolutely. I believe there's lava that flows. It's proven when volcanoes erupt. I'll never dispute that. The core, I do not believe, is molten lava.
amen. I
Look at all
believe
your
that
dead
too.
planets. Look at all your dead planets and all your dead stars. What do they have in the center of them? A hard core, a metal core.
Yep,
You tell me lava created the metal? Lava creates rock when it cools off. It doesn't create metal.
exactly.
It creates rock.
Yep, exactly. So, I mean, it's a viable theory if we actually consider it and we actually continue to research this theory. And because we're going to need more than just remote viewing to prove this point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we're going to need to really, investigate it thoroughly enough to figure out whether it's a viable way things can be done. Um, think about the advancement that holograms have happened in the last 20 years. Take for instance the Pope. When the Pope disappeared the one time, you know, leaving the window area when he walked away, turned and walked away and disappeared before he was out of the frame of the window. You know that video has been around for what, 10 years, 15 years maybe. So if that is a legitimate device, I know that we have this technology because I've seen this technology firsthand. Okay, the holographic imaging. You get somebody standing inside this holographic imaging device, and it takes and scans their entire body in 3D, clothes and all, and puts that image out wherever you want it directed. Okay, we've had that technology. Okay, and to be honest with you, the technology that we are experiencing today is like Eric said earlier, it's older technology. It's not even the newest technology. Okay, and that's from our own time. Okay, our own civilization, our own government and military and scientists. Okay, just think about the fact too, and I'll go back to this again. Every civilization built on top of the pre-existing civilization is usually done because the civilization coming in and building on top of the old one is more advanced. It's not that case with this planet. It's been proven that these civilizations prior to us coming and building on top of them were more advanced than we are. So it doesn't make any sense. You know, the whole theory of us being more advanced than previous civilizations is bullshit. You know,
The
if it
only way to
quacks
get
like a
back
duck,
to that
walks like a
previous
duck, then
one,
it's a duck.
the only way to get
So
back to that previous one is to unlock the stuff that's been locked inside of us, and for us to open our eyes. And what is the famous word we like to say in here? Question everything.
question everything. Yeah. Yep.
So,
Well, everybody, this has been a heck of a night. We're going to be back on in the morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, Saturday and Sunday morning, for our Paranormal Weekend Morning Brew Show. Tomorrow, we're going to start talking about giant cryptids, okay? And other weird things, okay? So you guys know how this goes. Okay, I got to read this. Carlito, you're making me put my glasses on, man. Come on now. You know my computer's small, Carlito. Oh, okay. You're agreeing with me. Okay, well, you're a good guy then.
tomorrow, I'm going to go down after the show. I'm going to go down and do an investigation on that dogman / werewolf report that I got now that I got my truck back.
Oh, yeah. How's it running?
Still got a few issues. I put a mass airflow sensor on it yesterday. I've got some misfiring and some leanness going, so I'm probably going to have to replace some O2 sensors as well, but it's running better.
Good.
Yeah, it should after new engine, new cats, and new mass airflow sensor, amongst some other stuff. But I want to get down there and get started on that investigation. So I'm not going to do a campfire chats tomorrow night. I need to get my button gear and get on these investigations now that I've got a vehicle to travel around with.
Yeah, true. All right. Well, look for us tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. Okay, everybody. Everybody have a great rest of your night. Camo Dad, good to see you. Show, thank you for being here. Carlito, thank you for being here. Freaky Geek, everybody, you're fantastic. Corey, I still love you, brother. All right, even though you think we're ugly.
Yeah, I know. Hurt my feelers.
Yeah. Freaky, good to see you. Roxanne, everybody, thank you for being here. And we'll see you all in the morning, okay? Get a good night's rest because I'll probably be up all night long. So, anyways.
Peace, love, and blessings.
Yep. And we will see you all in the morning, okay? Take care, everybody.
See you.